Welcome to your quotation from Furniture Plus, a part of Paper Plus. A few things to note before we begin. Feel free to pause or go backwards in this video at any time to look at designs, images, and pricing. We'll start with proposed designs for each area, followed by product images and finished choices. At the end, we will show you alternatives, extras, and options, some of which may change the design or function completely. So do watch until the end, even after all areas have been covered. So here's the basic design. This is what's included in the pricing, and we've gone for very hard-wearing and good value furniture. So the layout allows 53 seats in this study area and 16 workstations along here. I've made this station for the teacher or the person who's monitoring the area a little bit larger. That makes sense. It's also ergonomic. I imagine there's going to be a lot of traffic through these double doors, so there's no corners to go past. It would be easy to walk past this. This table is also mobile, and the reason for that is if you look where this person who's monitoring the room is sitting, if you draw a straight line, their sight is actually cut off to this whole area. So I'm not sure if you would want the freedom to move this around, but this is also a very high quality unit that has a guarantee for 10 years. So this is the basic chair we've specified. There are obviously options on the frame and the shell color. This is a very hard-wearing chair and is also very good for posture. You can have the seat upholstered and you can also have it mounted on glides with a more IT chair style base. These are the frame color options, and these are the shell color options, so the plastic seat, the seat in the back. For each of the shell colors, we do have matching fabrics, but we can also have the seats done in vinyl. At the moment, I've priced for the basic chair, and I'm proposing that the legs or the frame is in silver. This is to match the legs of the worktop underneath. These are the actual tables. As you can see, they have silver frames as well. They are very sturdy. This U-bend extra piece on the front and the sides makes them very sturdy, and the top is of laminated MDF, so the edges are very hard wearing. They are also stackable, as you can see here. You did mention that they would likely stay in the same place that they are, but just in case, that is an extra functionality. So this is the smaller version of the table I'm proposing for the teacher. The reason for using this table is that the height adjustment is very good, so no matter what the floor is like, you'll be able to get it flat. It has soft cable management, so while you said that the students would be able to bring in their laptops and not need to plug in, I didn't know if a monitor would need to stay for a while. So you could have cables coming in, which you just plug in at the bottom of one of the feet. It's also mobile and moves very easily, and the way that it works is it folds down and has a very slim profile, but is also very stable. It's also got a 10-year warranty. These are the finishes for the top of the table that are available. These are in MFC. These are the leg finishes. Again, you see a silver there, so you can tie everything up together. Just a recap of the features. Obviously, we could have specified something a little bit more standard, but my approach was that this table would be used almost constantly, and you would want something that was both versatile and very durable. This is the proposed chair for the person who's monitoring. Ignore the fabrics, that's just to illustrate. The reason for choosing this chair is that it's HSE compliant at work. It's the best value chair that we have that has this compliance. And if you're unaware about the regulations, if an employee complains or ever has any kind of back pain, they can actually demand that you supply a chair like this. The thing that makes it different is the seat padding and the fact that the adjustments on it are all independent. So you've got 3 levers instead of the standard 2 levers, and you also have pump-up lumbar support. This also has a very good 5-year warranty to it, and you can choose the fabrics as you want. I've included pricing for all standard fabrics in one color. It would be an extra £10 to have it in 2 different colors, but obviously you can match it to some of the decor in the room. So for this area here that will comfortably allow 16 workstations with computers, we would use T-frames along the whole length of both of these worktops. I have also specified front rails. What this allows is for us to have less legs so that there are less in the way for students to sit and to get in the way of their chairs. Obviously it would be cantilever legs, so you can still push the chair over it, but this supports the worktop a lot more and allows for less of those legs. We would use a post in the corner, and then we've specified MFC as the top. So the MFC that I mentioned is the Flexi Top 25 that you see here. You do have the option of these other tops. This is what we stock and can use. But in my mind, the Flexi Top would make the most sense because it's in beech, and you can obviously have the exam tables also in beech, and you can have the monitors table in beech as well. The Tough Edge would be a little bit more expensive. I can find that pricing for you if that's something that you wanted. But the Flexi Top is durable enough. If it's not in a busy classroom with young people and it's not being knocked around a lot, then the Flexi Top is very durable. You could have something thicker, but in this case, I would suggest the Flexi Top. Anyway, you see the options here, so you can contact us if you want pricing for that. So cable management consists of cable trays. I've actually specified wire trays. They have small enough squares in between them that the power modules, etc., can't be tampered with inside them, but what they do allow is for less heat to build up and good airflow, which is a good idea. The cost of the worktop also includes these power units, which we would wire in. They have surge protection, and as you can see, there are quite a few power connectors. As you can see on this black one at the bottom here, they plug into each other as well, so you can make a daisy chain of them from one area of the room to the other. There is an upgrade of what we call a power-up socket available, but I haven't priced for these at the moment. Please do let us know if you'd like to change that. So now for some alternative layouts that you could use in the student study area. If 53 tables is more than you require, and you want something a little bit more high quality, or if you want the versatility to be able to move the tables, this is an extra option. This is with kite tables throughout the room. Still a circular one, a mini mobile one for the person who's monitoring the room, but rectangular throughout, and these are larger than the exam tables I've shown you previously in price for. These are 1,100 long and 700 deep. It's at a slight angle, so they are actually 700 deep. I'm wrong, 750. These are exact models, by the way. They're not just sections or representations. So that's what the room would look like. Another alternative, this would provide 39 student tables. I would recommend that this go along with an upgrade to the chairs so that they're not static leg, they're swivel and gas lift, and we would put glides on those so they can't be moved, but it means the chair can be turned to sit down and turned back to the chair, so they don't have to be slid back and in when someone sits down, which obviously will protect the floor and allow you to have more seating spaces, as in this drawing. Of course, you can go for smaller kite tables. These are the trapezoidal shape, and this allows for 47 student seats. Finally, if you wanted to go away from a standard desk option, this is a way to add extra desks, but also make the room change, have quite a lot of sound absorption, and also channel the way people are walking. So that's one layout. That's another. Before we move on to the next, I'll just show you what these zigzag lines represent. So here's an example. As you can see, the zigzags allow desks either side. We wouldn't suggest the really high ones. You'd still, at a standing height, the person who's monitoring would still be able to see over. But what it does is create a very nice private study area, perhaps engender a little bit more of a focused study space because of the sound absorption. It also helps with echo around the room. These are also very nice because they're brought in. It's all one unit. You can choose the fabrics and add a splash of color to the room. The desks themselves also have all the standard MFC finishes available. So going back to the layout, you could use these in quite a few different ways. Obviously here you've got them at an angle. That's just at the side of the room. This is using smaller ones, allowing a certain number of seats here. And this is essentially enclosing the space where people are sitting, creating a more focused area that people can work, and having people sitting facing different directions. I would suggest that this would allow students to focus a little bit better. And also with traffic coming through these double doors and walking along here, it creates a nice partition. So moving on to the conservatory area, there's lots of things that we could do here, but I actually specified some scoop seats, which are just standard seats that go here, simply because they're just such excellent value for money. You can have seats going all the way along the room. You can decide how many you want. It's a very good solution for the space. Most other sofas will be too deep for the space to still allow the table in the middle, if you wanted to keep the pool table, or to utilize the space effectively. This allows movement very nicely. Obviously, you could add some seating along here. This is a triple seat, so a triple seat along with a double or a single would fit there very nicely. And of course, we could just do one extra bespoke unit just to fit there. So here's an example of that same seat. It's a triple scoop seat, very comfortable, but above all, very, very cost effective and yet still very durable, used in the education environment a lot. I've priced for it in any of the standard fabrics that we have. So I'm sure you're familiar with those from the catalogue, but I'll just show you them quickly now. So these are the colours available. This is in the Phoenix range. This is a tighter weave. This is in the Advantage range. That's a little bit more of a traditional look. Both of them very durable. And finally on this page, the Omega Plus. That's an even tighter weave, and you would see this on a lot of task seating. Very, very durable, severe contract. I could also upgrade to vinyl. So these are the vinyl colors available. There is also special fabrics, but those are obviously at an added cost, and the vinyl's at an added cost. So here's the proposed design for the common room area. This is using an excellent range of seating, both low level and with backs along them, and high level. This just creates a really nice area. These high level ones, when you're standing, you can still see over them, but it allows a very nice entrance and an excellent use of space. And I'll show you a few other designs which could add more seating, but this is the most ergonomic and provides more seating than you currently have. So this is the range of seating. As you can see, very attractive, nice metal feet underneath. Unlike some seats, this does allow cleaning underneath. A lot of this style goes right to the floor, so it's very difficult to get underneath it. These are very durable. These have got a 5-year warranty on them. And they're also lighter than seats of this nature because of the way the frame is built, which is very nice for cleaning. They can be clamped together so that none of them can move. And we can add high backs to them. So as you could see in the model there, on the curved units, I would suggest higher backs. Here are some of the units with higher backs. Obviously, that gives you a wealth of different options that you could use. So now I'll just fly you through the room. We can add color to these designs, but obviously it takes a bit of time. So if you are interested in this quotation, the pricing is affordable for you, then we're happy to do that, add fabrics and colors. In this range, there's no actual charge for having 2 different colors on the same sofas, which is almost unheard of with manufacturers. There is a small fee for this added service to texture and color everything, but that's waived at the point of order. So finally we move on to the first floor upstairs room. I've just gone for a very straightforward table design, but I've chosen extremely durable tables, so they're fully welded frame tables and in a range where you could have the top surface matching quite nicely to the furniture that's downstairs. So this is in our very popular Colorado range, and I would suggest the same chairs as downstairs. And again, remember the finishes can make the chairs look very different. A lot of people look at these chairs and they say, oh, it's a poly chair, it's a very standard chair. You can actually make it look really, really nice. So here's the exact finish range available in these tables. If you did want to go for something different, you could do that. You could go for a dark walnut or an oak. The beech is the quickest to deliver, so I've put lead times for that. Many of the other finishes are the same, but we would need to check that if you wanted to change. So here's an example of a poly chair used to good effect. This is with silver frames on the chairs, silver frames on the tables, and then a very nice maple top for the table. So consider all of these. I've showed you the finishes. Finally, options for the upstairs room would be to have desks the same as downstairs, those zigzag desks where you've got your own private partition. It creates a very concentrated study workspace and also changes the acoustics in the room significantly. These are very sturdy. They've got a 10-year warranty on them. And there you can see what they look like. I've added these as options at the end of the quote. So here are the workstations in color. As you can see, the panels are very thick. They use acoustic foam. They also have these boards in between, which are manufactured under very high pressure. So they're very strong. Obviously, one thing about them is that you can't move them. There is an extensive choice of fabrics. They're fabric wrapped. So each panel is fabric wrapped. So here's the pricing. and the lead times for these products. This is assuming, let's say if you did an order by next Monday. I do apologize, this quote is later than we wanted to send it to you. We've just been extremely busy. So here are all the standard options that were included. All the things that I mentioned are included in the price. I'll also show you some of the pricing for the extras, the other options as examples. I can share this with you. You can also add information such as finish choices. And you can also pick and choose, get in touch, and I can amend the quote to whatever specification you require. So some examples of extras pricing. This is an upgrade to the chairs in the study area. This allows them to height adjust. And we'd have glides so that you can fit more desks in that space because you don't have to pull the chairs back. This is a cheaper option to the kite table for the person who's monitoring the room. It's a rectangular table with a keyboard tray and a little thing at the back to hold whatever's on the desk. It's got very hard-wearing large wheels, which can just be locked. Most of the time it can be in the same place, but it can be moved easily, adjusted, etc. This is the workstations that you saw, the zigzag ones, the alternative that I suggested. As you can see, a higher cost than the standard desks, but if that's something that you would like to look into, then I can change the design to whatever you'd like. Then the first floor, this is the other option, the booths. And that's one run of the booths. And then obviously the same upgrade as here, the option of making these height adjustable with glides. Okay, thank you very much for watching.